a few companies control the majority of the junk food industry. They use 5 tricks to make us buy and get addicted to their foods. Continue to watch this video to learn what these are so that you can avoid them. About 500 companies control 70% of our food choice. Of them, 10 have even greater power. They generate more than $1.1 billion per day. These companies are part of an industry valued at $7 trillion. That's bigger than the energy sector and represent about 10% of the global economy. These companies use cheap land and labor to produce inexpensive products. They sell low nutritional products while maximizing profits. Food companies use lots of tricks to get us hooked on their foods. 3 ingredients that they often use to cast a spell on us are sugar, salt, and fat. Our bodies are hardwired for sweets. The entire mouth goes crazy for sugar. We have specialized receptors for sweetness in every of the mouth's 10,000 taste buds. Sugar is used to make foods and drinks irresistible. It also makes donuts fry up bigger or prevent the bread from going stale. Sugar also turns cereals toasty brown and fluffy. We consume about 71 pounds of sugar each year. That's about 22 teaspoons of sugar per person per day. Sugar has no nutrients and creates a huge insulin spike. The added effect is that people become hungry soon after they eat the junk food. Kids especially like sugar, even more than adults. The sweet taste tricks them to believe that foods are high in energy. Another effect sugar has on children is to make them feel good. Some manufacturers brag that they don't use sugar. Instead, they use artificial sweeteners, which are not healthier than sugar. Aspartame is highly toxic to the body and has many bad side effects. The worst one is brain tumors. High fructose corn syrup is often added to processed foods and sodas. It's often made of GMO corn that are sprayed with toxic herbicides. Another major ingredient that food manufacturers use to make us crave their foods is salt. More than 75% of the salt that we consume in a week come from processed foods. Among the basic tastes, salt is one of the hardest to give up. Salt makes the food taste better. You can find it in everything from bacon, French fries, salad dressings, baked foods, cheese, pickles, snack foods, sauces, canned soups, and TV dinners. Today, Americans consume more sodium than health authorities recommend. The average American consumes about 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day. Salt is used to increase sales and consumption. It fixes a host of problems in processed foods. Cornflakes, for example, taste metallic without salt. Crackers become bitter and soggy and stick to the roof of your mouth if you don't add sodium. And without salt, ham turns rubbery. Salt also prevents something called warmed over flavor. It's when the fats in the meat give the meat a taste of cardboard when you reheat it. The processed food industry often uses reheated meats in their products, so that's why salt is so invaluable to fix this problem. The third major ingredient that junk food companies use to make the food more appealing is by adding fat. So fat is one of the core components of processed foods. We don't have any receptors for fat on our tongue. Like sugar, some types of fats increase the shelf life of foods for days or months. Fat also makes chips more crunchy. Fat also gives cookies more bulk and a firmer texture. It also lessens the rubbery texture in hot dogs and also deepens their color. The most valuable function of fat is to mask and convey other flavors in foods. Fat contains 9 calories per gram and leads to rapid weight gain. Junk food contains saturated fat, which is very unhealthy and can increase your risk of heart disease. Hydrogenated oils also leave a residue of trans fat, which is dangerous to us. Trans fat only comes from processing and heating oils, and is not a natural fat. The fourth way food companies make us buy their products is by tinkering with the food label. Food companies use a vast amount of food labeling tricks to make us buy their products. For example, they can add omega-3 in their product and say it contains omega-3 in big letters in the ad. They may also add synthetic vitamins and minerals to the products to make them look healthier than they are. You might see a good source of vitamins and calcium, or 100% daily value of 12 vitamins and minerals. Producers can also exploit the term natural. The FDA has no real definition of this term. That means that the package can have the phrase 100% natural even if the product is processed. In the US, you can say a product is free from trans fats on the label if it has less than 0.5 grams of trans fats per serving. That means that you can still consume trans fats even if the label tells you that it's free from it. If any product mentions hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oil, then it contains trans fats. Many fat-free products are not healthy at all. Anything fat-free can still contain added sugars or additives. Another way manufacturers trick us is by tinkering with the serving size to make a product look healthier than it is. The serving size on the package does not reflect an actual regular serving. On the label they can list the calories of one serving, but the whole product can count as 2.5 servings. So that means that you need to multiply the serving by 2.5 to get the actual calorie count. Some products also brag that they are free of sugar, but instead they use aspartame and high fructose corn syrup, which are even worse than sugar. The last trick junk food companies use to make us eat their food is by using sneaky marketing and camera tricks. Manufacturers use deceitful tricks to make their products look better on camera. Ice cream makers use mashed potatoes when they take photos of ice creams. It's hard to take pictures of ice creams because they melt within minutes. A photo shoot often takes several hours, and by that time the ice cream has already melted. And it's not practical to make tons of batches of ice creams just for one photo shoot. When companies take pictures of cereals, they use glue instead of milk. When you put cereals in milk, they become mushy. And because manufacturers want to convey that their product is crunchy, they need to use this camera trick to fool us. Food companies also put food polish on meat products to make them seem more appealing in front of the camera. They also use other camera tricks to make the product look more appealing. If you want to be healthy, then you should ditch processed foods. You can read our free guide on how to avoid food additives and how to eat healthier. In this guide you will learn how to read food labels and find out what food additives you need to avoid. I will provide a link to this document below this video. If you like this video, then press the like button and subscribe to our channel. You can also visit our website cancerwisdom.net to learn how to treat cancer with natural remedies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.